Welcome back to Compassion Speaks. I'm your host, Lynn Lewis. Today on our show we have Dan Lewis, who is the founder of Hogs and Hotrods, which is a local car show here in the White Mountains. Welcome.
Thank you. Good beer.
Your first year of starting the show was in 2018, and we should mention, what does that car show help as far as our organization or community? Tell us a little bit about it.
We founded it in 2018 because it was actually for the Love Kitchen. The Love Kitchen is not, doesn't have any type of government funding or anything like that. So in the summertime, they were having problems. You know, people go on vacation, donations stop. So we needed a fundraiser ultimately that would help the Love Kitchen. We wanted to give back to the community as much as have a fundraiser that everybody could actually enjoy. So that's where this came up. And so we decided to do this car show. It was tough. It was very tough. I mean, the first year was hard, but we made it. But everything that we made from this show goes to the Love Kitchen.
Yeah. And you've had a passion for cars and motorcycles. We should mention, too, that it's not just a car show. It also has hogs.
As hogs for Harley Davidsons, yes. I've been an avid Harley rider for my whole life. And I just thought that, you know, there's some beautiful bikes out there, absolutely gorgeous Harleys. Mm-hmm. And I thought it would be awesome to showcase the bikes and the cars together and, you know, bring the community together for something different. So that's where we came up with the word Hogs and Hotrods, so we can have the hot rods and the hogs on the same field.
Yeah. So in 2018 being your first year, what did that show look like? What was going on? Did you have vendors available? Were there things that kept the audience captivated? Were there games? What kind of things made it a fun show?
Well, I'll tell you, the most memorable aspect of the first show, we got the field from the town of Pinetop Lakeside. Bless their hearts, we want to thank them. Big shout out to those guys for giving us the field. They had a situation with the power poles. They dug new holes to plant new power poles, and of course they shut the water off. The grass was dead on our first show. We still hear, even 3 years later, on how we're still digging dead grass out of our cars. So that was kind of a fun thing. But our first show, it was tough to get started because everybody wanted to know how many cars, how many participants, how many this, how many that. We didn't have any numbers. It was tough. We did have the Love Kitchen actually set up a food booth there. We did have wood crafting vendors, metal crafting vendors there. We did have quite a few. Our first show, we had 75 cars, I believe, 75 cars. 25 of those were Harley Davidsons that came in from New Mexico, some beautiful, beautiful bikes. A local motorcycle company here put on a games, you know, like the bike games where you, like a ring toss and what they call a 6x2, where they drive their motorcycle on a 2x6 and see how far they can go. Mm-hmm. The slow race, or the slowest guy wins. Mm-hmm. So we had quite a bit of things going on. We had frozen t-shirt contest. One of the guys actually sat on his t-shirt to get it to thaw. Yeah. The crowd loved that. They thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah. So a lot of fun things for the community to get involved with. And that organization, the motorcycle club, was?
Mountain Motorcycle Association of Arizona, MMA. And BACA was there as well, Bikers Against Child Abuse. And ACMA, the Christian Motorcycle Company, CMA. Christian Motorcycle Company, they were all there, there as well.
So a lot of nonprofits showed up to support the Love Kitchen, and what's awesome about that is the booth that does the food is actually the Love Kitchen, who provides that meal through different sponsors and whatnot, but all of that money also goes to benefit the Love Kitchen, and the volunteers from the Love Kitchen are the ones that cook the hot dogs, and I know they've had street tacos, which were a huge hit.
Huge hit. People loved them.
So we're hoping to bring that back again this year as well.
Yes, and it was fun showcasing the Love Kitchen. They're actually doing the food, because like you said, everything went back to the Love Kitchen itself, but it was nice for people to actually get acquainted, for the people who actually was the volunteers for the Love Kitchen. Right. So they get to know them.
Yes. Yeah, it was a good time. The Love Kitchen does not have a lot of big fundraisers, so this was a way to launch one of those big ones. And I know with COVID happening in 2020, that car show actually got canceled along with Run to the Pines as well.
Yes.
So that was a huge hit as well.
Yes.
So coming into 2021, what do you expect to see? Do you see any new car clubs? I know that it brought several car clubs from the valley and other areas to our mountain, which gives back to the community. So that's a win-win as well. But is there anything big that you can see coming this year?
Well, there's still the scare. People are still kind of antsy about getting out. We got the people that really want to get out and show off their cars and get out into the public again and do that kind of thing. We still have people that are still apprehensive, and we understand that. We're going to take every precaution we can this year to make it safe. You know, we're going to have the cars spread apart accordingly. We ask that people will social distance, practice that kind of thing. Our volunteers will have hand sanitizers for them. But the show that we're going to have this year, we've got a great lineup coming up this year. We have a car that's actually going to be breathing fire. So he's going to be there. He's going to do a couple showcases for us. This thing is amazing. It shoots a ball of flame through the top of the car, 8 feet high. It's going to be really cool. We are also actually going to auction off. We have a sponsor, KE Arms, and he is going to be sponsoring this rifle that we're going to be raffling off as well. So we're trying to put together as much as we can. Like I said, we still have a lot of people that are apprehensive about coming out, but I think it's going to be a great show this year.
Is there still time for anybody that's seeing this episode, which is February, is there still time for people to still register? Are they able to show up the day of the show? What does registration for anybody that hasn't been in the show before, what does something like that look like, and how can they get a hold of you?
Okay, so registration, you can register up to the day of the show. You can show up at the show. We'll take you on the field anytime you want to come in. Just keep in mind that the judging starts at 9 o'clock and it ends at 12. So if you come in after 12 o'clock, obviously you're not going to get judged. The later you show up, the less chances you are to get more votes. It's going to be a public vote and a participant vote. We're going to have two. Obviously, the later you show up, the less votes you're going to get. So we ask you that you get to the field between 7 and 8 o'clock. You can register with me. You can give me a call. My phone number is on this flyer here, 928-241-1548. You can call there. You can go on our website, hogsandhotrods@az.com. You can get a hold of me anyway like that. I will be glad to mail you a registration. We're having a new thing this year, and I just want to put this out. This is going to be a first year. We're going to try this to see how it goes. If you can see on the back here where it says sponsored by, we kind of hand wrote it in because it was a last minute decision, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. What we're going to do is we're going to offer anybody that registers $5 off their registration fee if they bring someone with them. So the registration fee is $35. So if you bring a friend with you, he will pay $35, but you will only pay $30. If you bring two, then obviously they will pay $35, but you now will only pay $25. So every person that you bring with you, you will get $5 off that registration. And they have to have, all the registrations have to come in at the same time, because we can't just, but they all have to come in at the same time. And then whoever sponsors those people coming in, just write their name in here, they will get that discount. So that's something new that we're going to try. We're really excited about that. We're doing that to help other people promote the show as well,
right,
to get other people to help bring more people in. So,
because you spend a lot of time getting out there to other car shows or cars and coffee events, whatnot, throughout the valley, throughout Arizona. Is there any other states that you've reached out to try to get involved as well?
We spend a lot of time in the valley. Usually right around December, we go down to Mesa, Phoenix, Tucson. We do a lot of car shows down there. We hand out a lot of flyers, thousands upon thousands of flyers. And we try to bring people up here for more business. I do have a few people that reached out to me from California, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So we expect a few people from there and quite a few people from New Mexico.
Yeah.
So
it's an awesome time, I know. And do you have a number of about how much has been raised? And possibly what people might not understand is when you're putting on a car show, there's a lot that don't understand, well, why are you charging an entry fee? What does that exactly go to? I don't think that a lot of people understand what those kind of fees actually go to, because it's not the registration money isn't going to the Love Kitchen. That people should know. That's going to actually help with the cost of the car show, and some of those costs might be.
Well, the cost of the car show is actually phenomenal, believe it or not. Just the price of T-shirts alone are right around $4,000 to $5,000.
Right.
They're very expensive, but it's also very good advertisement to have the T-shirts out there so people become more aware of it. Trophies are very expensive. Our first year trophies, we spent over $3,000 for just trophies. So we were already into it $8,000 on our first year before we even started.
Right.
So yes, a lot of the registration fees will go for providing, even like the porta potties were expensive. So everything that we charge on this will basically go to the expenditures of the show, and then to make sure that we can cover those expenditures again for next year, and then whatever's left over, all that will go to the Love Kitchen.
So then that's where sponsors and whatnot, as far as donating items that can be auctioned, because we have a wonderful auctioneer. Her name is Brenda Sherwood.
Brenda Sherwood's amazing.
Yes, she's been our auctioneer since the beginning, since the very beginning. And so she does an amazing live auction. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that the gun won't be the only thing that's being raffled. So are you looking for things that can be auctioned?
We are. Anybody that wants to donate an item, any type of ticket item that we can, do a raffle with, we will take anybody and advertise their name for them, give them a big shout out before the raffle. A lot of the sponsors that we get will post their signs out on the show, so as people come in and move around, they can see who our sponsors are. But yes, we will take anybody. We always are looking for sponsors, big ticket items, barbecues, toolboxes, whatever is available, whatever people would like to donate. We would love that and appreciate that, absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit before we run out of time. When does this car show take place?
This car show is going to be May 29th, 2021. May 29th. Our events are going to be, the field will open at 7 a.m. So if you can bring your car in at 7 a.m. and get situated on the field, 9 a.m. sharp, we will shut the field down because we do an amazing flag ceremony. We'll honor our veterans and our fallen heroes. The field will shut down for that. After that, then we will immediately start judging. The booths will all open up for everybody. So we ask that everybody is on field by 7.
So Memorial Weekend this year, 2020, it's on Saturday only is the car show.
Saturday only.
You want to be sure to get a hold of Danny. He will give you that information. It's going to be a great show. It goes to a great cause, the Love Kitchen, which
yes,
of course I hold near and dear to my heart. Thank you, Danny, for being on the show today. I appreciate it, and I look forward to the car show and whatever we can do to help.
Absolutely, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Compassion Speaks. I'm your host, Lynn Lewis. And joining us now is a very good friend of mine, Eric Neitzel, who owns Fireground Drone Works. And I'm going to let you say what your other business is.
It's Fireground Digital Signage.
Awesome. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thanks.
It's exciting. You do so much for the community. I don't think that a lot of people realize all that you do, especially with the drones, but also your signs. But I want to talk about the drones because that's been near and dear to my heart because I've seen what you've done. So how long have you been doing what you do?
I've been in the drone business for just over 3 years. Wow. Since it became an official business. So yeah, just over 3 years. I had my FAA license to be a drone pilot, and so yeah, I saw a niche and I jumped into it.
And a lot of people don't understand just how many hours and how much time it takes to get that license.
Yeah, it's. I went to ground school. I wanted to learn all the laws. It's actually a pilot's ground school. I paid a little bit of money to do it and got the ins and outs. And I took the FAA test down in Scottsdale and passed flying colors. No pun intended. So, yeah.
Well, and a lot of people may not know, Eric, but you've actually been a servant to your community for a very long time. What did you used to do in your other?
My other life, I was a firefighter for over 28 years. Started in the San Francisco Bay Area where I grew up. And then I moved out here. Actually, I moved to Show because of the Rodeo Chetasky fire.
Okay.
And so the Forest Service offered me a job, and I ended up staying. And here I am.
Loving the White Mountains.
Yeah.
Now, with the drone, what would you say the main part of your work is with the drone work?
I do a lot of photography, land surveys, some real estate stuff. So if you're looking on websites and real estate, you'll see the aerial photos. I've done some movies, some Netflix movies, things like that. I'll do stuff for the news media, Weather Channel, stuff. I just fly.
You're well-rounded.
Yeah.
You're very well-rounded. But what, to me, is the most important part of what you do is you actually volunteer a lot of your time towards.
I do a lot of search and rescue, search and recovery. The search for Willa was kind of my kickoff role, if you will. We were out there for 3 weeks looking for Willa. It was quite a time.
Yeah.
First, I didn't really wanted to get involved because I just didn't know the people out there, and I didn't want to jump in and get in, muddy the waters. But I got requested to go out quite a few times, so I went out and stayed and stuck with it, and we eventually found her, of course. And then now I do a lot of animal searches. I do people searches as well, cattle. I've been asked to do cattle and horses, but a lot of missing canines out there. And I get called up, and I'm going to start a nonprofit for aerial search and rescue for people and animals.
I think it's vital, and I don't think that people understand that when a loved one, such as our four-legged animals, go missing, and especially during this time of year when the temperatures drop and can become so brutal, that when they're lost,
I mean, yeah, they're part of your family.
They are, and there's not a lot that you can do from the ground that you can from the air.
Right.
So what does some of that look like? What are you looking for when you put your drone in the air? I'm
looking for movement. I'm looking for tracks, like if it's snowing. I just came off a search yesterday, the last couple of days up in Flagstaff near Snowbowl, and there's a husky still out there. Mm-hmm. The whole team, Northern Arizona Animal Search and Rescue, I get requested by them. I come out and we start flying. Luckily, there's snow on the ground, so we can see tracks. And I spot a lot of tracks of this dog that's moving around. He's having a heyday out there. He's a husky, so
huskies
Phoenix.
Love the snow.
Yeah, so he's on vacation, but the owners don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll look for movement. Some cases you'll find a deceased animal. You know, it's sad, but yeah, there's a lot of great stories coming out. You know, you find an animal and you send your search teams to find it, and there's happy faces.
Yeah, there's been a lot of success with what you do, for sure. Have you had anything that has come up where you haven't been involved in the find, but they have found, or?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, in fact, last weekend, there was a German Shepherd that was involved in a roll-over accident out near Mayer, and the dog went missing, was injured. And we searched everywhere for that dog, and it turns out it was less than probably a mile from the crash scene. It was injured. It was hunkered down, and finally just walked back up to where the crash scene was. And luckily, the owners were camped out there, and that was a smart thing to do. And the dog was just laying under the camper.
Right.
And I woke up in the morning.
Is there anything that you can recommend when a search is going on like that? Is there anything that you can recommend to those that have lost their either loved one or animal that they might be able to do to help you with the search? Yeah.
Leave a scent item out at the scene wherever they lost it, and if you could stick around the area. I know it's easy to wander off or go away or start looking, but if you stick around the point where the animal left, it's really important, because 9 times out of 10 the animal will return to the scene.
Right.
And I've seen it happen.
Wow.
So.
Well, I know that it's vital. I know that I did watch you during the Willa search, and I think that's when you planted that little seed in my heart, because I know how much everybody was going through during that time. And, you know, our prayers go out to the Rawlings family, who I know even now are going through their time of suffering. But if anybody wanted to help you, you said you're forming your nonprofit, but right now they can still give donations to help the cause, because there's expenses that you deal with when you are on the road. What are some of those expenses?
Well, it's mileage. You know, I have a truck. That's a big one. I do a lot of my searches in Coconino County.
Okay.
Prescott, that area, and some here, of course. But CERT is the insurance, flight insurance for my drone, or drones. I used quite a few different ones for different occasions. Insurance is a big cost. And then just time out in the field. Expenses, food, and sometimes lodging. I had to spend the night in hotels this last couple nights, just because it was too cold. Normally I'll camp out and make it an adventure, but you know, 9 degrees is 9 degrees.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm not an Arctic survivor.
Yeah.
But
so there's expenses.
Oh yeah.
And you don't charge the families for what you do, and so that's a huge benefit to them, because they're getting something that they would not normally do. And if anybody can donate, how would they do that?
My Facebook page, I have a pinned post that explains kind of what I do. It's on facebook.com/Fireground.
Okay.
And you'll see what I can do on there, and everything's straightforward. There's PayPal links, Venmo links, whatever's convenient. I'll be starting a Patreon here soon, just for people to support. People want to support.
Yeah.
So I had a family donate a drone, a search drone, and that's my primary drone for searching now. They had me spec it out, and I went on and spec'd this drone out, and it's an Autel robotics drone. It's made in America.
Wow.
From an American company. So I take pride in that, and it's designed specifically for searching. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, I am thankful, and I hope that I don't ever have to use you for that, but I know that there's families out there that do and have used your services, and it's very appreciated.
Yeah,
so
I'm glad to do it. It gives me purpose, you know.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I'm no longer in the fire service actively anymore, and you know, sometimes it just gets boring, and I got to find a purpose out there, and you know.
Well, and you have a huge heart, and it shows by what you do through doing that. So now with your signage company, how do you get involved with that, and where do they end up? Who can be a part of it? Who can advertise, and where can they put those signs?
Yeah, it's an indoor digital signage company, Fireground Digital. I'm in Alberto's. You see those digital signboards in Honda, the Lodge. Bloom and Bean has one as soon as you walk in, and it's part paid advertising and part host advertising. Host meaning whoever has the board on their wall. And so if you're a company out there, then you want to advertise to a captive audience, just give me a call.
Yeah.
We play video ads, high definition, anywhere from 20 seconds to a minute long, full screen, half screen, whatever.
Yeah.
And you have people sitting, pre-qualified demographics, sitting in a waiting room or a coffee shop or bar or restaurant, looking at them.
Yeah, looking at stuff. I know, I love looking at ours at Bloom and Bean. It's awesome. Is there a way that, and there may not be, so I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there a way that somebody would be able to say, hey, Eric, can I give you X amount of dollars to put the Love Kitchen on one of your ads? Is there a way that
Absolutely.
a nonprofit could do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could actually, there's some companies that will sponsor a nonprofit ad.
Okay.
And we throw it up. We have a whole creative department. That's, you know, I got 15 people in a creative department that just put together ads. That's all they do for digital signage.
Okay.
Nothing else, and it's great. And they could have it cranked out in a day or two.
Well, I know that I've been sitting at the hospital, and have noticed different things, and I've gone to places because of the ads. So I think that advertising, no matter newspaper, magazines, or like your signage, is important.
Yeah.
Because not all of us have time to go to every single outlet that we have in the community. So having stuff like that is important.
Yeah, and I also bring value to the screens. I'll do public service messages. If there's an Amber Alert, it automatically gets broadcast to the screens all at the same time. We have fire information when we have wildfires up here. I'll have it broadcast to all the screens. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, Eric Neitzel with Fireground Drone Works and
Fireground Digital Billboards.
Thank you for being here today. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank
I
you.
love the work that you do. Appreciate it. And we're going to see you at Hogs and Hotrods as well,
Yes,
right?
I'll be flying that.
I think I just put him on the spot. Thank you for being with us today on Compassion Speaks. I'm your host, Lynn Lewis, and I hope that you found value with some of the stuff that we brought to you today. There will be information at the end of this broadcast so you can find out all the stuff we shared with you today. Have a great time. Bye.